What up, though? It's your boy C-Noch, Chubb, Knoxx, singer, recording artist, producer, editor. I just want to talk to y'all today a little bit about my experience with Avid Pro Tools. The situation is very vexing. First off, I like to say I really love using Pro Tools, and I've been using Pro Tools ever since I was like 16, 17 years old. It was like for me, it was like Pro Tools 6, something like that. I didn't own a copy, but I was going to different studios that did have Pro Tools and different users that had Pro Tools. And as a young man, I was learning Pro Tools. You know what I mean? Long story short, as I got older, by the time I was able to get a copy, I bought 8. You know what I mean? And that's where I really started digging into like Pro Tools and learning the ins and outs with the, you know, I think they had Inbox at that time, you know what I mean? Inbox. And it was starting to become universal to several different, you know, hardware devices. So, you know, the thing about it is, you know, I ended up buying a Perpetual license in 2017 when I ended up buying iMac, you know, and Perpetual means ongoing, you know what I mean, forever, in a nutshell. So if you get something that's perpetual, in this case a license, then that license shouldn't lapse. And Pro Tools done this thing where they come up with these subscriptions, and with the subscriptions, you know, I can understand, you know, some people, they don't really want to own it, but they want to dig in and just like you know, do a project for, you know, however long it takes. So they got a monthly subscription and different stuff like that. And you know, I feel like that the Avid community, or the Avid Pro Tools Avid, tricked me into a subscription, because I was looking last year, I was looking on there to renew my Perpetual license, which I mean, even talking about it, it sounds crazy, you know what I mean? But I was looking to renew my Perpetual license and get the what they call support plan. So with this support thing, you know, I guess for whatever reason, if you run into some trouble, you know, hardware issue, you know, you get I guess you can get on the phone with these guys. I've never really had to utilize the support, you know what I mean? Especially with the YouTube community and different experiences of knowledge that I've had down through the years, and, you know, troubleshooting and learning how to fix the problem of things. So, you know, whatever, they got a support plan and stuff. And so, you know, I'm like, you know, some of this stuff isn't necessary. So what happened, getting back to what happened with me, I thought that I was renewing my my Perpetual license, because at the time on the Avid website, it basically said that you could trade your Perpetual license for a subscription or something like that. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to renew it. So I had all these different options, and things just were not clear. You know, and I'm a reader. I know how to read things, and then I was reading over and over, like, you know, something's just not making sense. So, you know, being pressed for time and having different projects that I had to get done, I ended up clicking on the wrong thing, which was the subscription. And so, long story short, here I am in October of 2022, and you know, I'm just like I'm tired of being tricked, and I really feel like, you know, these guys are like they're taking it out on the community, certain things that that they've been through. And I know that a lot of people have cracked their software down through the years, and you know, here I am, a loyal user of Pro Tools, and you know, even as I look through some of the other YouTubers and see they're vexed. The community, the Pro Tools community is vexed, you know, right now with what they're doing with these subscriptions and stuff like that. So I'm giving it a last run. This is my last run with Pro Tools. You know, it's about to be like deuces. Nah, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person that if I buy a software, I really kind of like to own it. I really like to be able to, at my leisure or at my discretion, go to that software and do a project whenever I get ready. The issue is, by me using a Macintosh, and I'm not so sure about how it goes with Windows and stuff as far as operating systems go. When Mac, when they do an update to or come out with a new operating system, what happens is, you know, these companies, these, you know, specifically Avid Pro Tools, they don't, you know, you got to have an update for that particular operating system that you're moving up to. And if you don't have the update and support plan that Avid has, what happens is you either have to make the decision to not get your security updates with the operating system, or stay at that operating system, even though you have a piece of hardware that can allow you to move up to the operating system that they're basically, that they're moving to. And so it's like this. Okay, if I got a perpetual license, it's not really a perpetual license with Pro Tools Avid. What's happening is it's for as long as you choose to stay with that operating system, and if you decide to if you up your operating system, you have to have the support plan with Pro Tools with Avid Pro Tools in order to get that update. Otherwise, you have to stay with the operating system to where your Pro Tools, your current version of Pro Tools for that particular operating system that year, or whatever the situation is, you have to stay there unless you buy this support plan renewal stuff that they have going on. So, you know, I think that that's unethical. I think that it, I'm trying to choose my choice of words carefully, because, you know, I really like Avid Pro Tools, but at the same time, you know, I really feel like it's something that's an unjust. And, you know, if you're an artist, you know, you don't want to have to worry about, you know, certain things, and there's so many people out there that are not computer whiz, that are not computer savvy. Nevertheless, they know how to run a DAW, you know what I mean, and get projects and things done, you know. And some of these things come later with time, you know. And if you don't know some of these things, then, you know, you could be getting yourself into a big situation, and what would seem like a waste of money. You know, I'm not really a subscription guy. I mean, I don't have problems with subscriptions. I think certain things, you know, as far as subscriptions go, is really cool, you know, but not when it comes down to your DAW. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be something that you have to pay for every year. I think that's just utterly ridiculous. You know, so one of the things that I've come to do and come to say that, like, if this is going to be my last run with Pro Tools, and it will be if these guys don't start being reasonable with their prices and with their software, it's deuces, like straight up, you know what I mean? So one of the things I want to show you guys, one of the things that you can do. Basically, I'm talking about consolidating your audio. So I'm gonna open up Avid here, and I'm going to basically show you guys something that you can do. This could be a time-consuming thing, or you know, it also could be taxing to your hardware space. But if you are one of those people that can get a drive and kind of back up your stuff, you know what I mean, then I think this could definitely work for you. And some people have Intel Macs, you know what I mean? I have an Intel Mac. I don't have the M1 and all that different stuff yet, but nevertheless, the year that I bought it, I can still, like, at this time of this video, they're coming out with the Ventura. They have the Ventura operating system beta right now, and so I just made the cut with that. So, you know, with the beta and different stuff like that, you know, they got all these new features and stuff that's very, very useful. And as technology increases, and you know, we want those features if we can get them, you know what I mean? And you know, you don't want to be missing out on that kind of stuff. I mean, you know. So basically what I want to let you guys know is what you could do is you could go into to the Pro Tools, and then you have what's called an audio folder. It opens up with the audio session files, and then it has the Pro Tools PTX file in there. As I open this audio folder up, what I want you guys to take notice of is I consolidate the file. They create new files inside the audio folder. Those consolidated files start at the beginning, and then they go all the way right to the end. And so with your sessions, if you create a little bit of a workflow like that, and then you can go inside that folder, and then you can organize them. You know what I mean? You can put them in another folder. You can compress it down to save space. You know what I mean? But those files you can click and you can drag into another DAW, such as Logic Pro, Studio One. They got the Cakewalk free program. Depending on how many files or tracks you're using, there's a lot of free programs out there, you know, that you can use. But my main thing here is to try to show you that you don't have to be sold on Pro Tools if you use this method or this workflow of consolidating your files, possibly even creating a secondary PTX file, and then moving on. Audio is universal, so whenever I take those files and I click and drag them to a DAW, I mean, it is what it is. I got them. If you want to commit those plugins into your audio files, then there's a way to do that as well. But I wouldn't suggest doing that, because, you know, maybe what you hear right then and there might not be what you want it to sound like when you actually do your post production and get ready to publish something. So, you know, those raw files would 9 times out of 10 be the way to go. I hope that I've helped you guys in just a little bit of a way, because, you know, if I want to use Pro Tools, I'm going to use Pro Tools. If I'm going to use Cubase, if I'm going to use Logic, I want to be able to use those programs if I bought those programs, and at my leisure and at my discretion. I don't want to, when I sit down and record and have a mindset to be creative, I don't want to deal with having to overthink. If ever Pro Tools is saying, okay, you got a perpetual license, that perpetual license to be a perpetual license. I shouldn't have to worry about not upgrading or updating my operating system because, you know, I don't choose to continually pay for a support plan from Pro Tools, you know, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to worry about that, especially if I've bought a perpetual license. You know, you should be able to give me the updates, you know what I mean, that I need with my operating system. I gave you guys $600. How much more do you want? You know what I mean? So, you know, that's crazy stuff. You know what I mean? And I obviously just don't agree with what they're doing to the community and to their loyal users. You guys got to do better. So the thing is this: consolidate your files, move them to a different folder. If you need to save space, compress them down, you know what I mean, and store them on a backup drive. And then, you know, if you decide later on that you don't want to use Pro Tools, or you come to a different DAW that you just like over Pro Tools, or you just don't want the headache, look, now that workflow for you, you've protected your music, you've protected your sessions, you've protected your audio files that you've worked so hard for. And I think that this workflow could help a lot of people as it relates to being able to have your music protected. So don't forget to like and subscribe if I've said anything in this video that might have helped you. And share this video, and maybe it might help someone else, you know. And if I've said something and I sound stupid, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the consolidating workflow as it relates to Avid Pro Tools. All right, rock till we drop. C-Noch, Chubb, Knoxx. Holla at your boy.